What is up, YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. Today, we got the Mega Banette team once again with Mega Banette, Incineroar, Araquanid, Ferrothorn, Tapu Koko, and Nidoqueen. If you have not checked out the previous two episodes with this team, I highly recommend you go doing so because you missed some really good episodes. But right now, let's just play some games. So, I've been testing this team a bit off camera. Won a few, lost a lot, but I feel like I'm getting more of the hang of this team and understanding more of the weaknesses that I feel like I might have to build around. I'm still thinking maybe changing Tapu Koko's Volt Switch. I thought I could leave Banette, Koko, Volt Switch, Trick Room, but it hasn't really come into play much, and I think maybe having Sky Drop or Taunt might be more useful because of the fact that I'm finding opposing Taunt really difficult to handle with this team. If my opponent's Taunt a Banette, I don't exactly have great switch-ins because slow, vulnerable Pokemon don't exactly like that, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I feel like maybe it is worth having the it's just worth having. So not sure of what I'm going to change yet. I also was considering a Romantis earlier, but I feel like the electric terrain is really important for the Amoonguss matchup. Although I feel like whenever I play this team, I have not faced an Amoonguss. I don't feel like a single player has brought Amoonguss against me when they have Amoonguss. Maybe they're just really afraid of the Tapu Koko. Maybe they're afraid that Amoonguss doesn't do much. Which, I mean, it does redirect, which I feel like is really important. It doesn't really be Ferrothorn, so maybe they're worried about like a Ferrothorn endgame stalwart. But yeah, otherwise, I think that's pretty much all I have to say for the beginning. It's taken quite a while to find our first game, so I think we'll be right back with the first game of today's episode. Alright, we got a 1576 rated player from Japan as our first opponent, bring the team of Como. Okay, Gengar, Whimsicott, Como, Tapu Bulu, the Tapu Koko, and the Incineroar. Okay, so, how do I want to approach this? I like Banette plus Incineroar. I'm actually really glad that we're actually facing our first instance of this Mega Gengar team, because I actually did EV to Banette to survive a Mega Gengar Shadow Ball. Or at least I hope I did, because I'm pretty sure I did the calc right. Hopefully it wasn't regular Gengar that I was calcing by accident. Nidoqueen's really good if I get the Trick Room up, and I think Tapu Koko is just good for the matchup. Although I really like Ferrothorn, Araquanid's okay. I feel like these Pokemon are the Pokemon that I do want to bring. So we'll see how this goes. I think the plan is just to get Trick Room up and then sweep through my opponent's team. That's basically how it goes with this team. We'll see how it works. But yeah, pretty sure leads Gengar, Whimsicott. I really wonder if any of these Pokemon carry Taunt. I know that Incineroar, Whimsicott, and Tapu Koko are all contenders of Taunt users. I know Como gets Taunt, but let's face it, it's not going to have Taunt. I don't know what the Gengar's moveset is going to be. I could see Disable, I could see Icy Wind. They don't really run Taunt on the Gengar. They usually would carry it on the Whimsicott, so I'm less expecting Taunt on the Gengar. Usually if you have Taunt on Gengar, it's going to be paired with Clefairy. So my opponent taking all the precious time my opponent needs. Let us see how this match is going to go. Hopefully we will be able to pick up a win for the first game of today's episode. I think this matchup's pretty good if we're able to get the Trick Room up. Like, if we get Trick Room up, this matchup's amazing. If we don't, could be a bit of an issue. We'll see how this goes. Let's see. Gengar, Whimsicott? Incineroar, Gengar. Okay. Which I don't mind. We'll go Banette and Incineroar here. We'll just go for the Trick Room and a Fake Out into the Incineroar because I don't want my opponent to double into Banette because that would be a concern. I do need to Trick Room up 100% in this matchup. Frisk the Figgy Berry and the Gengarite. And we confirm it's not Mint Speed Incineroar because the Banette, you know, having the Banette in between Incineroar, regular Incineroar speed tier and a Mint Speed Incineroar speed tier is so good. We'll go for the Trick Room right here. And we'll just fake out the Incineroar slot. I don't know what's going to happen here. But, yeah, this is looking like a pretty solid start, I would say. Looking like a pretty solid start. Then what? I could double up the Gengar the following turn. I just don't know if you're going to target down the Banette or not. All I need is my Nidoqueen in. All I need is Nidoqueen in. We will see the Gengar Mega Evolve. I think Fake Out Shadow Ball is my opponent's play or double into the Banette, which is why I'm going for the Fake Out here. Because my opponent can only Fake Out my Incineroar. So, we will see both Mega Evolutions here to battle the Mega Ghosts. Are there more ghost type Mega Evolutions? There probably are. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. Okay, so my opponent probably did go for the attack here. Sweet. Yep, because there was no fake out. Shadow Ball going to come out into the Banette. Yep, Banette does survive. Incineroar flinches, and we will get Trick him up. So perfect. Great turn one here. And I could go for Destiny Bond if I really want to. But I really kind of just want to go for a Shadow Claw knockoff combination into the Gengar if I can. I want to threaten the Gengar. I could U-turn the Incineroar to get in my Nidoqueen, but I don't want knockoff going into my Incineroar slot because I could see Protect knockoff into my Incineroar slot. I could see turn down the Banette, but that'd be fine. I get a free switch to the Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen gets to do a lot of work here. So let's see what my opponent's going to do. Gengar going to retreat, actually. Okay. Into the Como, which does make sense. So Como going to come out here and knock off into the Como. And Shadow Claw. So we get a bit of damage, which is good for Dazzling Gleam in the late game if that's a possibility. Knockoff going to come out, target down my Banette slot. So I could have Destiny Bonded, which is a bit of a shame, but that's alright here. I get a free switch out into my Nidoqueen. And I think I just Earth Power the Incineroar slot and just go out in the Tapu Koko. Actually, I U-turn Earth Power into the Incineroar. They don't usually carry Protect unless they have Perish as a mode, but this team doesn't look like. I don't think with Whimsicott you would have Perish Song as a mode, so I don't think the Incineroar is going to Protect. I think you would usually run like U-turn. So, well, U-turn out in Tapu Koko. One Soul Blaze is going to knock out Nidoqueen. This is looking pretty good for us so far. And Nidoqueen's just threatening every single Pokemon on my opponent's team. Like, yeah. So, actually, no Protect's coming out. Not afraid of the Ice Beam. U-turn going to come out. Do a bit of chip to the Incineroar. I wonder if it's a Assault Vest on the Incineroar, because I think that's the only thing I really have to worry about. We will get in my Tapu Koko here. But Life Orb, Quiet, Max Special Attack, Nidoqueen? I feel like that would be able to knock out Incineroar even with Assault Vest, but we'll find out. Incineroar is a bulky Pokemon after all. Earth Power will come out into the Incineroar. Will be able to pick up a knockout, so great. Incineroar goes down, and we're going to see the Z move. Yep. So straight for the Z move, no substitute or anything, just going to go straight for that Z. We will be right back after cutting this animation out because it is copyright. Decent damage to my Nidoqueen, will be able to get its boost. But I think the Como is in range of a Dazzling Gleam for my team, so I'm not really too worried about the Como. We're going to find out what comes out afterward. Could be the, I don't know, Gengar doesn't really seem like the play. Bulu is most likely Scarf on this team. So no matter what, something's going to get trapped in and KO'd basically. There's not really a good switch for my opponent. I could see my opponent trying to bait. Like I definitely could see my opponent bait here. Maybe go Bulu and then hard switch into Gengar. We're going to see the Gengar come out. Okay, you're not going to sack the Gengar, I feel like, here. You shouldn't. I really want to go for the Sludge Bomb, but even if it's Scarf, Bulu, it's going to take a lot, and I still have 2 turns of Trick Room left, so might as well just throw off an Earth Power. Go for that Dazzling Gleam, which will be able to do a lot to the Como. I don't know if it picks up the knockout. I feel like it should at that range, but yeah, I feel like it does at that range. Especially if it has no bulk. Gengar going to protect here. Is Como going to protect here? That's the question. Nope. So, Tapu Koko, are you going to be able to pick up a knockout on Como? We are slower than the Como. So, Dazzling Gleam going to come out, and that is a knockout on the Como. So, perfect. Able to trap the Como, get rid of it. Nice. And I think my opponent has to rely on a double protect. But if it's Bulu in the back, my opponent doesn't really have many outs here, I feel. A Tapu Koko actually going to come out. So, my opponent really doesn't have many options left. I might as well just go for the Earth Power. Do I target down the Tapu Koko or the Gengar? I feel like you would double protect here, but still. I might as well just double up the Gengar slot. I don't need my Z move as much, I feel like, in this game. And putting the Gengar into range of Guaranteed Thunderbolt is really nice here. As my opponent's just going to forfeit. Maybe just thinking I don't have a way to beat Nidoqueen. But I feel like my opponent did have a chance if he'd go for that Double Protect. I feel like Double Protect could have potentially won my opponent the game. But luckily able to pick up the first game of today's episode with Nidoqueen putting in some more work. Unfortunately, Banette I mean, it got the Trick Room up, which was really good, and living a Shadow from Mega Gengar when it's super effective. It's pretty nice. It's pretty sweet. It does live max special attack. Mega Gengar Shadow Ball. Not Modest. Modest is a roll, I think, in their favor. It's like 56.3% chance to OHKO. But I did EV it for Timid since that's the most common Mega Gengar set we do see in competitive play. Because the speed on Mega Gengar is really, really nice. As we're going to find Brian for our second opponent. 15-12 rating for the United States with a team of... Is that a Noctowl? And a Galvantula? This team looks so cool. Okay. Banette. I'm bringing Banette here. Do I bring Nidoqueen? I'm not sure if I bring Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen's alright. Interesting. I like Banette. I like Incineroar. I like Araquanid and I like Ferrothorn. I'm bringing all my physical attackers though. I mean, Nidoqueen can't really get stopped by this team, but the problem is I can OHKO maybe the top of Bulu. I don't think I knocked out the Noctowl because Noctowl actually is pretty bulky, but otherwise it just... I feel like I don't do as much damage threatening. Like, I don't really threaten as much damage. So, yeah, I feel like it's just worth bringing the physical attackers because Araquanid can pick up a lot of KOs in the rain. Even through Intimidate, I'm still doing a lot of damage. And that involves him on top having to switch in, and it can't switch in right away. So I think I'd be okay with that. Also, the fact that Swampert really can't touch it unless it has a Rock Slide move. We're going to see the Pelipper Swampert lead. What do I want to go for? I'm especially defensive, so I might as well just target down the Swampert. I am worried about Hurricane Confusion, but I'm also worried about Waterfall Flinch. I feel like you might Scald if anything here, as we're going to find a Damp Rock and the Mega Stone on the Swampert. So, Fake damage should put the Swampert in guaranteed range of... I don't know, here's the thing. Like, if I fake out the Pelipper, 2 Shadow Claws probably pick up the knockout Pelipper, which might be worth. I think just go for the Trick Room here. And fake out the Swampert, because I feel like Waterfall is very likely here. I don't want to flinch at all. Pelipper probably can't knock out Incineroar with a single Scald. Otherwise, I think it might be a roll, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to see the Swampert Mega Evolve. I really just want to avoid Waterfall flinching, because my opponent has to get the Confusion and... like the Hurricane Confusion and the Confusion to stop Trick Room. So I feel like it is worth it here. As we will Mega Evolve with our Banette. And let's see what my opponent goes for. Fake Out will go out into the Swampert. And the Scald gonna come out target down the Incineroar. So Banette doesn't take any damage. And Incineroar actually taking that really well. Like really well. Okay. Trick Room will go up. Could be a double protect here coming up from my opponent. I don't think it would be. Well, this would be nice here, but I don't carry it. Might as well just go for the Shadow Claw, and I think a U-turn into Pelipper. I don't know how much damage it's going to do. Pelipper has high physical defense, and this one, since this carries Damp Rock, could have some bulk. But I think getting a Rockmanid in against these Pokemon is really nice. My opponent could go for a nice read and go for Hurricane. That would be a really great read. Yeah, that U-turn, that was a critical hit. And that really didn't do much. We could also bring out Ferrothorn. But I don't want to get burned, so I think Araquanid is the play. So we'll bring out Araquanid. And Shadow Claw, the Pelipper. Decent amount of damage. Scald going to come out. Target's down. Yeah, I don't want to burn. Like, I really don't want to deal with a burn here. And we're going to see the Waterfall come out and target down my Banette -1. Still does an amazing amount of damage. And I'll double up the Pelipper because Pelipper is the bigger threat. I don't care if Banette goes down. I just get a free switch in there. And I do want to aggressively target down Pelipper. Because Pelipper is a threat. And once I get rid of Rain Swampert, it's not nearly as much of a threat. And I can always OHKO to Swampert with my Bloom Doom later in the game. So Hitmontop might be coming out. Yeah, that's fine. We could see a Protect here. If it's a Protect, like I just get to play more defensive here. I could go for Destiny Bond and switch out. So I'm okay with this. I could even just Protect a Rockmanid, which also works too. But no Protect here, so Liquidation going to come out into the Pelipper. Good amount of damage, but I don't know if Shadow Claw picks as a knockout at that range. I don't think it will. Intimidate coming in clutch. Yeah, that's really bulky. Hurricane going to come out. I should survive this, though. I'm not procking berries, though. I am not procking berries, but it's alright, because I can go for Shadow Claw, and I don't think my opponent... Like, if you go for Fake Out, it activates my berry. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for damage and hit him on top. I might be able to get another Trick 'em Up. I'll go for Destiny Bond the next turn so I can see if I can get Trick 'em Up. We're gonna see the Pelipper retreat though into the Tapu Bulu coming out. Okay, so we know all 4 of my opponent's Pokemon, which is alright. I think Ferrothorn does really well if I get rid of the Hitmontop and potentially the Pelipper. So we're gonna see the Fake Out, which will activate my Berry. So I do not mind that. Did I save it? I don't remember I saved it from Wiki Berry to yeah, I did save it. Okay. So Rockman does flinch there. We get Shadow Claw off, just a bit of damage onto the Tapu Bulu. You're not gonna close combat on the Rockman. I don't feel like that would make much sense. I could see attacking the Araquanid, but I feel like you might want to target on my Bayonet to prevent Tricking from going up again. So I think Destiny Bond is safe here. Maybe Destiny Bond switch out an Incineroar so I have Fake Out pressure. Yeah, I think that might be worth. Because if he targeted down my Araquanid, right, with like the Wood Hammer, I'd be able to get my Berry back and then I Fake Out pressure. So I feel like that would be worth. Because I'd get another Trick 'em Up. So if I don't, although this could be a mistake because if my opponent goes for, let's say, Hornleech into Bayonet, it won't KO. But I still have the Destiny Bond threat, so I'm not sure if that's going to be really big. Close combat going to target down my Incineroar, so don't know if my opponent was going for a read or it was just going for a close combat because that was the only thing my opponent could do. So I do lose my Incineroar there. Don't think it's the end of the world. Let's see what my opponent does here. It's going to be the Hornleech. Okay. Targets on the Bayonet. Is that crit? I mean, I do get rid of Bulu, which is nice. No, it's not a crit. Okay. So I'm able to get rid of Tapu Bulu, which isn't bad. It's not exactly the best, but it's not that bad. And we'll just go out into our Rockman. We do have Ferrothorn, so I wonder if this Hitmontop is faint. That's a big question. Swampert will come out for my opponent, which is a strange one, I feel like. I wonder if this Swampert also has Stomping Tantrum. That's also a question I do have to be concerned about. Since it's Damp Rock, Pelipper, the Rain turns are still available. I think I just Liquidation to Hitmontop and I just go for the Z into Swampert, because Z might actually be able to knock out Swampert. No, Z will knock out Swampert with the Terrain. And I don't think my opponent has a combination of attacks that can knock out Ferrothorn. Unless you have Hammer Arm for some reason. Oh my. Hammer Arm Swampert. I've seen Superpower, and I did forget that as an option, but Hammer Arm? Okay. I mean, we do knock out the Hitmontop here. That prevents me from getting intimidated. I still have Grassy Terrain, which is actually benefiting me more than my opponent. We go for Liquidation here. I don't know if I'm going to be having enough firepower, though. I might have to rely on a Hurricane Miss, because that might be how I'm able to come back in this game. Hurricane wasn't really doing much, but still, we'll find out. Pelipper's going to come out. Is this the last turn of Rain? It's also a mind game, because Pelipper can also have opportunities to protect. How many turns of Rain are left? 2, so... Ooh, boy. Let's see here. I want to scout for what Swampert potentially do. I was not expecting the Hammer Arm as the attacking move there. I was fine with Superpower because I thought like I'd be able to win with their Rockman because... What the heck? Oh, man. Roost. We never see Roost on Pelipper. No! I don't think Liquidation would have KO'd either, which is the sad part. I don't think Liquidation would have KO'd the Pelipper. Let's find out now, I guess. I mean, it could still go off Hurricane Misses, I guess. Like, it could still go down to that. So I'll go for Liquidation. As we're going to see the Ice Punch. It can't... No, it can freeze. I can't get burned. Ice Punch does too much, though. Hurricane. Maybe a crit onto the... Maybe a crit onto Pelipper? Liquidation. Crit. Yeah, like, even if I attacked the Pelipper, I wouldn't have done anything. I need a miss, and even then, I don't think I'll be able to have enough firepower. Even then, like, Pelipper can just keep going for, Roost. I don't have enough firepower to come back in this game. Oh. Yeah. I guess it was just I don't know. My opponent double targeted the Rockman that one turn to close combat plus 1 leech. Maybe that was something I could have changed. Yeah, maybe I should have thought about that more. Maybe I should have just went for the liquidation with Swampert. I mean, not Swampert. With a Rockman instead of switching on Incineroar. Kept Incineroar alive. The Intimidate might have been useful. The Fake Out Pressure might have allowed me to get another Trick Room up. If a Rockman went down, I would have got free switching Incineroar, being able to Trick Room up. Him on top was weakened. I could potentially just win with my Ferrothorn. So yeah, mistakes were made in that one. Let's go for one more game and see how this is going to turn out. But I do think that was a game we could have definitely won. I do think that was a game we could have definitely won. I feel like there were some mistakes made. The Hammer Arm was the big one. I did not think two things. Roost and Hammer Arm. Those were the two things. I thought Fighting Move could have been Superpower. I'd be okay with that because Liquidation might be able to knock out the Pelipper at the range it's at, and then Rain Boosted Liquidation would be able to knock out the Swampert -1 since Double Up wouldn't probably KO me. Was not expecting Hammer Arm. Was not expecting Roost. Those two moves were what screwed me over. And yeah. We got Rio with a team that... I don't... No, there was a Celestial last time. Okay, we got the Tapu Fini... Okay, Tapu Fini, Manectric, Incineroar, Snorlax, Kartana, and Cresselia. Pretty standard team. The way I want to approach this is Banette, Incineroar, Nidoqueen, and Ferrothorn. I feel like this is very similar to the last... It was the last episode, yeah. It was a game that happened in the last episode. So, Banette plus Nidoqueen, I think, is our lead, always. I think it just puts on a lot of pressure with Ferrothorn and the Incineroar in the back. Let's see how this is going to go. It really comes down to sets. I think it will be Z-move on the Tapu Fini, as they all carry the Z-move. But with Kartana, it could potentially be Z-move Kartana. So, if it's a bulky Fini, I don't have to worry about getting knocked out with Nidoqueen right away, because Scald or Muddy Water is not going to be able to pick up a knockout. And I get a huge Sludge Bomb off. So, let's see what my opponent's going to bring out. Maybe Manectric Tapu Fini. Could be like Kartana leading, because Kartana is decent against my team. Let's see here. Manectric plus Cresselia. That's a pretty solid start for me, I feel like. Let's see. Citrus Berry. Banettite. Okay. I might as well just Shadow Claw. And I just don't want to worry about a Psychic. So I'm thinking maybe just go for a Protect here. Because I could see two plays. Manectric Volt switching into Banette and maybe a Trick Room going to Snorlax if you have it. Or I can see Protect, Psychic, or Icy Wind. So I think a safe mid-ground play is just to protect Nidoqueen and just go for the Shadow Claw. We're going to see the Manectric Mega Evolve, which probably doesn't really make much of a difference because Lightning Rod doesn't really affect this game at all. Okay. If it is a Volt Switch, I could have just went for the... anything else, I guess. If the Snorlax is in the back and Snorlax does Volt, and if it's a Volt Switch coming out, I do want to just go for a double switch, I think. We will protect Nidoqueen. So it looks like Manectric not protecting, just going to go Snarl, actually. Huh. Not the move I was expecting. That's going to do some damage to my Banette. Is my opponent trying to get the free switch into Snorlax, potentially? Psyshock into Nidoqueen, okay? And a Shadow Claw. Weaken down this Manectric. I hope this Cresselia doesn't have Ally Switch, because that could be a potential move that could happen. I don't need Trick Room up yet. -1 Earth Power would still knock out Manectric. We could see the Protect now, I guess. But I think still Earth Powering is my best play into Manectric. We're going to see the Volt Switch come out. Okay, so no Snarl, which is still good for me. Critical hit. A little bit unfortunate, but I guess not the worst. Unless my opponent targets on the Banette slot, then it's actually pretty bad. But I feel like you do target on the Nidoqueen now. Let's see what comes out. Incineroar. Oh, that's not a switch into Earth Power. This might actually be able to pick up the knockout depending on the Incineroar spread and set. So let's see. This is working pretty well for us. We will see a Psyshock come out. Does target down the Nidoqueen as expected. Should do a good amount of damage. Yep. That's a really good amount of damage. Here comes the Shadow Claw into the Cresselia. We get a critical hit. Ooh, that's big. That is big. Shadow Claw does have a high crit chance ratio, and we will go for the Earth Power into the Incineroar. So big damage, not able to pick up a knockout. Assault Vest? Yeah, that has to be Assault Vest. That was really bulky. Let's see what comes out from my opponent's side. Manectric gonna come back out. Okay, I can KO the Manectric now. I can KO the Manectric with Destiny Bond, I think. I'm just going to Destiny Bond Protect. I don't think there's a drawback. It's probably just Fake Out Snarl coming out. And if that's the case, I do get to sneak in Destiny Bond. And if that doesn't happen, like next turn I could just switch out Incineroar and Trick Room. And if my opponent KOs Bayonet, so be it. As we're going to see the Incineroar actually retreat, so maybe more Fake Out pressure. Tapu Fini is going to come in, okay. So as long as I KO the Incineroar in this game, I do win with my Ferrothorn, and that's what I'm aiming for. There's no way it's not Assault Vest Incineroar. That just didn't take as much damage at all. We should see Snarl come out here, I would assume. I'm actually really surprised. That's like really risky if I go for the attack there, but maybe just hoping I would go for that hard protect. Please hit the Bayonet. Please hit the Bayonet. Nice. So Bayonet gonna go down, but it will bring the Manectric along with it. So now I can go out into, I think, my Ferrothorn. Yeah, I think I go out into Ferrothorn. And then I double out Ferrothorn, I think. Because Incineroar is going to come out from my opponent's side. It is low. And I want to bring out my own Ferrothorn. The reason I want to bring out my own Ferrothorn is because of the fact that I don't want my Incineroar to come in. I need the Fake Out pressure in order to beat down this Incineroar. So I'm going to go my own Incineroar. Go for the Earth Power into my opponent's Incineroar. If the play works out how I'm thinking it is, it's going to be a Flare Blitz, Muddy Water coming out. Muddy Water knocks out my Nidoqueen. My opponent gets a knockout on to the Nidoqueen, but in exchange, Incineroar will probably proc Berry. Okay, the only thing this play doesn't cover for is an accuracy drop from the Tapu Fini. Let's just hope it doesn't. Oh, but my opponent goes aggressive with the Calm Mind. Okay, that works out for my favor as well. Let's see what the Incineroar goes for, because I don't think it can knock out my Nidoqueen, and I think it has to target on the Ferrothorn. Yeah, it just targets on my Incineroar. So I'm okay with that because of the fact is I get the knockout onto the Incineroar. And that should be game because I don't think the Tapu Fini can do anything. As the Incineroar goes down. Even if Tapu Fini boosts, it has to be like Waltarium. And even if it's Waltarium, like its spot is really still pretty poor. We'll just go for the Sludge Bomb and Fake Out. Tapu Fini gonna protect. No surprise. I think next turn I'll go for the U-turn. It has to be Z-Fini, I think. I think it has to be Z-Fini. Because or Z-Card. It could still be Z-Card. I'm just going to U-turn and Sludge Bomb here. Muddy Water shouldn't knock out Incineroar. And even then, like, if you don't Calm Mind, you have no chance of KO Ferrothorn. And I still have my ability to go for the Z move. Incineroar does survive here. Nidoqueen goes down. We'll be able to proc a berry. And next turn, I can go for Swords Dance and Fake Out just so I can go for the Z Power Whip. Because you're probably going to protect Tapu Fini on the Fake Out. And then just Z move will be probably enough to KO Tapu Fini. I don't know if it would KO to protect, but even then, it would probably put in range of Gyro Ball. If it is Z. And if it activates berry, I just go... Well, I could still go for Gyro Ball. It's +2 Gyro Ball. So we'll go out into Incineroar. And yeah, we always go for Z because we don't want to miss. And +1 Hydro Vortex. No way it KOs Ferrothorn at this range. Just please don't be a random Calm Mind and Power Fire Tapu Fini. Please. Swords Dance. Fake Out. And we should be good to go. Tapu Fini protects. Because it cannot afford to take a Power Whip. And Swords Dance Ferrothorn just has been putting in so much work. Swords Dance Ferrothorn putting in so much work. Mist disappears from the battlefield. We will go for the Z, the Gracium Z, the Z Power Whip, the Bloom Doom. And we'll go for, I guess, Knockoff. Just to get rid of a berry. Potentially, I don't know. Just find out its item, I guess. Muddy Water going to come out. Probably hoping for an accuracy drop. but I do carry the Z, so the accuracy drop won't matter. I don't care if you're Rindoberry. This is Z Power Whip from a Ferrothorn, from a near max attack Ferrothorn, let me add. This +2 Bloom Doom can KO Snorlax, so this should definitely be able to knock out Tapu Fini, which is weak to it. So, Bloom Doom Ferrothorn will be able to finish up this game, and yeah, just really surprised. I think Nidoqueen was able to do a lot of work, which I did expect. Not leading Fini meant I didn't have to worry about the Fini lead at all, and I was just able to focus down on the other Pokemon, such as the Manectric and the Incineroar, which were both big threats. The way to clear this game was for Swords Dance Ferrothorn to beat, because if it was Snorlax, I can beat it down with Swords Dance into Z move if I get rid of those pesky Intimidate Mons. So, and Nidoqueen does a really good job of eliminating those pesky Intimidate Mons. Our power pretty much just blows back those two Pokemon. But hope that you enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2018 Back to Back Battles. We are able to go 2-1 today's episode with the Mega Banette team. Hope that everyone enjoyed. If you did like it, please leave a like down below. Show some support, as well as you can leave a comment down below. Let me know if you do use this team. Let me know how you're enjoying it or hating it, or let me know what you think of the team and how it could be changed. Feel free to also check out the rest of my stuff in the description down below, such as my social medias. I do stream on Twitch, by the way, so I highly recommend go giving that a follow as well. You can check out my side tiers on the channel, the other stuff, the previous episodes if you missed them, and all that good stuff. Otherwise, hope you have a great day, people, and until we battle again, I'll catch you all later.